The next speaker left his undertaking as an entrepreneur, sold his business interests, and took up a full-time job defending the Constitution in Virginia, North Carolina, and South Carolina, representing the John Birch Society as state coordinator, Jim Capo.
All right. Thanks for having me, and thanks for Donna for putting this all together. I am the state coordinator for the John Birch Society in North Carolina and South Virginia, and we're involved in this fight against the dangerous ID, the real ID, because for 50 years the John Birch Society has been arguing for less government and more personal responsibility. Yeah. How many people out here work for the federal government? Can I see a show of hands? That's exactly the point. Everybody's hand should go up, because what this is about is our employer thinks that we should all have an employee ID card. The federal government thinks that we are working for it as opposed to it working for us. Okay, at some point we've got to stand up and tell them no. And that's what this fight is all about. There's a lot of groups represented here from across the spectrum, obviously. I'm from the John Birch Society. We have the ACLU, other groups. We're going to have to go out and argue with this legislature why they need to block compliance with the Real ID. There's going to be a lot of people talking about this is a solution to the illegal immigration crisis in the country. That's a lot of bunk. There's already laws on the books. If the federal government was concerned about that issue, they could already be taken care of with the existing laws that are there. It's just like the gun law debate. There's already laws there if they want to stop certain things. We don't need more laws. There's no reason to have Real ID. We don't all need national ID cards to solve an illegal immigration issue. The other issue in Virginia they're going to bring up, you're going to see people talking about the fact that some of the terrorists had some Virginia driver's licenses, and that somehow if we had Real ID that wouldn't have been an issue. The people that are involved in that terrorist act, they were already being tracked by various agencies of the government. There were already people, FBI agents, that were seeing what was going on. There was no problem with that fact that they had a Virginia driver's license. That is a total bunk. That should be an issue as to why Virginia needs to do something on Real ID to follow the federal government. Again, the issue is who works for who, and we've got to stop that. We've got to stand up now and tell the federal government that they work for us. Yeah. The state of South Carolina was very adamant when they blocked the effort in the Real ID. Virginia needs to do the same thing. Yep. This is a legislature that brought us the likes of Jefferson, Mason, Henry, Lee. We've got to have some representatives that stand up and do the same thing now today to let the federal government know who the boss is and who makes the rules in this country.
We've got one, Bob.
All right, and so we want to support Bob Marshall's bill, obviously. But yeah, so when you go in there, this is the battle for who works for who. We do not work for the federal government. The federal government works for the states, and the states work for us, the people. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Anyone from Hampton Roads certainly knows of the next speaker.